You're watching Bryce's Valley This Morning on KBTX News 3.
The VA is now taking claims from Navy veterans who served offshore during Vietnam and were exposed to Agent Orange.
It's taken years for those veterans to be recognized to get or even get benefits. I spoke to a BRYAN man who served in Vietnam and is now fighting a new battle. Thomas Powell knows what fighting feels like.
I had a teacher who told me I'd never amount to anything, and by God, I showed her.
The retired U.S. Navy lieutenant commander spent 30 years fighting for our country. Now, his battles are at home.
Type 2 diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, congestive heart failure, cardiovascular disease, peripheral vascular disease, and peripheral neuropathies.
Doctors believe all of that is tied to one thing.
We went through areas that were completely defoliated, and we knew nothing about Agent Orange.
The United States used Agent Orange to clear the jungles of Vietnam, making the fight against the enemy easier for our troops.
They were bomb craters with water in it, and we weren't getting resupply of water, so we'd drink the water out of the bomb craters.
What was just survival for Tom during the war is now turning his own body against him, and the fight to survive is now a generational one.
It wounded me more than any gunshot to know that I gave my granddaughter a problem that may shorten her life.
Tom's granddaughter, Leah, was born with a genetic disorder called neurofibromatosis, causing tumors on the brain, spinal cord, and nerves.
This kind of deletion was seen in about 2% of veterans' offspring prior to Vietnam and in about 13% after Vietnam.
Leah's mother, Kate, has done her own research, finding other families with health issues connected to service in the Vietnam War.
Really validating for me to find other people who are struggling with the same issues, to know that, it's not just my family, it's not, we're not by ourselves.
In fact, 3 million people were exposed to Agent Orange in Vietnam. The Department of Veteran Affairs just this year started accepting claims for Navy veterans that served offshore. Phil Kraft with the Honor Bound Foundation says they've been helping families for decades.
Recent studies are showing now that they're expecting 5 generations worth of birth defects based on the exposure to the original Vietnam veterans.
Honor Bound helps veteran families medically and financially, but Kraft says he won't stop fighting until veterans' families get help from the VA too.
Maybe they're waiting for enough of us to die so that they can say, yes, you were right, it did cause all those cancers, and we're not going to compensate the families, but by golly, we love our troops.
Tom's legacy of service is something he's proud to leave behind. He just wishes it wasn't at the expense of his granddaughter's health.
Yeah, I think that the government just needs to step up and figure out how they're going to take care of these people.
In BRYAN,
they sent us there.
Erica Fernandez, News 3. Now, if you're a veteran and believe that you've been affected from Agent Orange exposure, the Texas Veterans Commission suggests filing a claim through the local VA clinic completely for free.
Yeah, we have more information on how to do that with this story online right now at KBTX.com.